A friendly reminder, food and drinks of any kind are not permitted on the upper deck of the dairy. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Is everyone here? Are you ready for the bear show? Well, good. We better get started then. First of all, on behalf of the Clark family and all of our staff, I would like to welcome you to Clark's Bears. This is the home of Clark's trained bears and the White Mountain Central Railroad. My name is Murray Clark. I'm the youngest of two who work with the bears here. Also today, in the ring, you'll see my sister, Maureen Clark. And out of the two of us who work with the bears, I consider myself to be the most handsome. Not quite the reaction I was hoping for, but I'm used to it. Now, you're here to see the bears perform, but before we bring them out to do that, we'd like to give you a little bit of background information to make this educational as well as entertaining. So we'll cover a few facts and figures associated with these beautiful creatures. Now, my family started raising bears here back in 1930. We are New England's oldest family of bear keepers. Our entire experience has been with the North American black bear, Ursus americanus, the bear of America. This ring and these enclosures are just parts of our bear's home. And at present, we have a total of 9. There are 4 on display over back here, and we have an additional 5 across the street in 2 separate habitats. I'll get to them in a moment. Now, by far, the most common question that's asked of us about bears is, how long can they live? Well, the answer comes in 2 parts. Out here in the woods of New Hampshire, we currently have an estimated population of wild bears that approaches 5,000 head, and they're on the increase. We'll probably never know how many for sure, though, because every time they hold a census, no one shows up. However, they are very common here in the White Mountains. As a matter of fact, we've had one in our yard across the street several times this spring. Maybe the very same one broke into our chicken coop last summer. Got inside with the chickens. All of the birds survived. However, the next morning, the eggs were this big. If you're here on a visit, riding down the back road, out there hiking, camping, fishing, you may see a wild bear. If you do, please stay away from them. Don't try to get close. Do not feed them. Most of all, don't offer up a family member to have a picture taken with a nice bear. It ends badly for all those involved. And for the younger generation, that means no selfies. Hashtag bears bitey and it hurting. Now out here in the woods, the Fish and Game Department tells us the average life expectancy for a wild bear is not that long. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 years. Shame on Mother Nature. And shame on mankind. We do better here. Our bears have guaranteed living, a balanced diet, and we protect them. They're our personal property, our pets. We extend their lives greatly over that of their wild cousins. The oldest one we have at present you won't see today. She's across the street in special quarters. She's living in a retirement community. She's over there with decent quiet and shade, 2 houses to choose from, her own private swimming pool, 3 meals a day. She's collecting Social Insecurity, Medicare, and the meager interest they pay on her personal savings account. I'm speaking of a bear we've had here for many years. Her name is Victoria. She's 31 years of age. And that's not a record. The all-time best we've ever done raising a little cubby bear up into old age. He's laid to rest in the flower garden right over there. And yes, there are bears buried over here. Some of our finest show bears in history. But the one I'm speaking of, we called an old fella. He lived with us here 38 years, 7 months. And we believe that is an all-time record for the North American black bear. Now those are a very few of the bear facts. The bear show started here back in 1949. That was the year my father Murray and my uncle Ed started to teach and train little cubbies for show work. During this show, our first performer coming out is one of our older performers, a real professional. Her name is Echo. She's 18 years of age. Following her performance, we're going to bring out our 2 little cubby bears. And they are going to entertain you as best they can. Now, with that said, I want to thank you for listening so quietly and patiently. Here comes our first performer. She is a professional showgirl. Sweetheart, they're waiting for you. And here she comes. Right on cue. Soaking wet to help keep her cool on a hot morning. Echo. She is a full-grown lady bear. Her current status? Not married. This is my sister Maureen. I won't tell you how old she is. Now, let's start the show properly. Nicely done. Echo is our most patriotic bear. And after she raises up the flag, the next order of business is to check the mail. We always check the bear mail during our show. You never know what you're going to get. Publishers Clearinghouse, a New America Online hit, maybe even a stimulus check. Let's see, what did we get? Oh, look at that. Hooray, the tax bills are in. Sweetheart, I've got one question for you. Did the taxes go up this year? Mine. And who said New Hampshire was tax-free? Well, she's in position. I guess it's time for a little bit of refreshment. And you'll notice that Echo drinks from a bear can. You can find these along the edges of the highways here in New Hampshire. Parking lots, back alleyways, wherever the wild bears drop them, I guess. This is a bear can, and this is a bear belly. And you know, she's ticklish. Coochie coochie coo, ticky ticky tick mine. No wonder she's ticklish. Would you look at that? She's barefoot. Ain't that something? And after she's done drinking the contents of the can, she will not drop it down on the ground and walk off like a people. Echo has better manners than that. She's the first bear in history to recycle. That's right. All of our black bears are going green. It's good for everyone. It helps keep our grounds and the state of Hampshire. Now, over to the swing chair. It's her turn for a ride. Yes, right up into position. You hold steady, and Maureen will stem wind it to start it. Here comes the wind-up. Oh, help yourself. And there she goes. Oh, she loves to swing. No fear of emotion or the height from the ground. As a matter of fact, Echo thinks that all bears swing chairs. That's right, back and forth, nice and easy. Just like her hair color. All right, sweetheart, we'll slow you down gently. The ride is over, and you bail right out of that chair. But if you'd like to ride again, it only costs another $1.25. That works every time. Must have short arms and deep pockets. Well, Maureen, I see Echo's in position, so I'll give you BMO. Why don't you and I play a rousing game of Echo in the middle? I'll stand over here. You wind up, take careful aim, and send it. I'm open. And you missed it. Hey, you got a bear and one that time. And if I go like this, doesn't she look just like Judy Jetson? Oh, Echo, you are doing a good job here. I'll hand this back to Maureen. And then you and I can make our way over to the scale. We're going to weigh her in. We always weigh kids in the show to try to get an accurate measurement. You can see how big they are. Difficult to tell how much they weigh. It's rather deceptive. Here, you hold this with both hands and don't drop it. And we're going to call you 349 pounds in her bare skin. Don't know what it is you've been eating to get to be 349. But here, have a little more ice cream. It'll be fine. And then I'd like you to sit right up and look beautiful, not hard for you. Oh. Isn't she gorgeous? Why, yes, she is. And she's shedding her coat. All of the bears shed during the summer months. Young ones shed early on, older ones towards the latter part of the summer. But by the full moon of August, they're all done shedding last year's coat, and then the new ones arrive from Burlington Coat Factory. Time to play some basketball. And she is the best player we have. I'd like you to sit down in that chair like a young lady. Please. Footings out, both of them. Thank you. Are you ready to play? All right, here it comes. That's a good catch. I get the ball, and she gets just a little tasty. Num num, she says. How about we try it again? Only this time, here comes the bouncer. Are you ready? He says it's no problem. It's an easy streak. All right, then, let's make it a little more difficult, shall we? I'd like you to join me over here. I want you to pick the ball up, run it over to that hoop, and do a little layup. That ought to amaze the audience. I've got a little bit of that extra money. Let's see, we'll place that right there. You're ready, Your Highness. And there is a basket for Echo. Nicely done. Would you try it again? Instant replay in slow motion. Very good. You know, Echo, I think you're doing a fantastic job this show. You deserve a reward. Why don't you just look the audience over and pick out the tasty ones? Now I'll hand the ball out to my wife, Sylvia. And is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
To hold the ice cream again?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
And look at that. She claims a spun off. Goodness!
That is so gross.
You don't like ice cream? You don't share at home? Look, we have to share. She wants me to have some. Where did the bear hair come from? Well, I guess I'll head over here with my little bear behind. I'm going to eat the rest of this ice cream all by myself. No one seems to want to help. Oh, if I only had someone to share it with. Oh, you want to help? Well, you know what? I changed my mind. I wasn't going to go in. Well, why don't we just go check on that? I guess I'm caught in a bear trap. Woo! A real live one. Not your fingernails, darling. You're going to put a run in my stockings. You better watch that. You're pulling my pants down. And they want to see you bear, not me bear. She's giving me the signal. She wants to guard. Are you ready? Welcome. Welcome. You know what the best advice my dad gave me about working with the bears was? He said, don't ever put your fingers in a bear's mouth. Like that. He said, whatever you do, Marie, you don't even want to try it like that. They might come out like that. But they grow back in the winter. Tough crowd today. Here, you hold that and I'll get out of the bear trap. Now I've got a question for you. Do we have any hockey fans in the audience today? Very good. Echo plays paw hockey. There's no stick. There's just the shtick. Goals wide open, no goalie in sight. We lose one every show. He's on the breakaway. Getting closer. It's a real barn burner. Slap shot. Didn't make hey, we won the game. No, she's getting pretty good at this. Maybe one of these days she can even play with the Bruins. But first she'll need a steady diet of maple leaves. I'll be here all summer. Well, folks, what did you think of our friend Echo? Didn't she do a wonderful job? Now we're going to bring her back home, but don't go away. We'll be coming right back out as fast as we can with our next performers. We just have to set up a few props and we'll be right back.
जब उतरना हो तो चले जाओ, टाइम लिमिट नहीं है। इतना दूर था। That's a bad one.